Inglorious Basterds. Quentin Tarantino's 7th film, and
Boy oh boy is
it a good one. I will try not to spoil the entire movie as much as I can, but here's the main idea. At the end, Hitler all over the walls of Let me take another approach to this. Set in 1944, it begins in Nazi-occupied France, following two different fictional characters. Lieutenant Aldo Rain, played by Brad Pitt, and Shosanna Dreyfus, played by Melanie Laurent. Aldo despised the Nazis as he himself was a Jewish American man, so together with 7 other Jewish Americans, they formed together to create a mini rebellion called the Bastards, which is probably what Hitler thought of them, as within the Bastards group was a man proudly named the Bear Jew, which he earned his title by beating Nazis' heads in with a baseball bat, and many other interesting characters willing to do anything to satisfy their revenge. As a group, each member was tasked with scobbing 100 Nazi soldiers to install fear and get the word out about them. Now to Shosanna Dreyfus, who experienced an extremely sadistic act of violence on her family, which caused her to flee to Paris, where she still carries the hatred for the Nazis, and especially Hans Lander, played by Christoph Waltz, who orchestrated the horrific event, which I won't spoil, but this scene is an absolute masterpiece. But more on that later. Eventually, fate brings Shosanna and the Bastards together for an epic finale against their shared enemy,
the Nazis.
When you think of Tarantino films, Pulp Fiction probably will come to your mind. Well, think of Inglorious Basterds as Pulp Fiction, but more of that Quentin Tarantino-esque formula injected into the screenplay, to create a narrative with thrilling twists and turns and creeping tension as the scene plays out. You're just sitting on the edge of your chair waiting for that classic Tarantino twist. This was accompanied by the starring actors Brad Pitt and Christoph Waltz, who were in my opinion perfectly cast in this film, especially Christoph Waltz. I couldn't think of any other actors who could have portrayed the Nazi villain Hans Lander as well as he did. And Brad Pitt brought his incredible southern accent to the film, and his Italian accent.
Gulami.
Melanie Laurent showed her A-game in this film as well. I haven't seen many movies with her starring, but based on her performance as a revenge-seeking sassy Frenchwoman, it's fair to say that this is most likely one of her best performances. I have some other notable actors, but I can't really pronounce their names, so I'm just going to get the AI to read them. So we got here
Martin Wuck,
playing Hitler,
Til Schweiger,
playing Sergeant Hugo,
Daniel Brühl,
playing Frederick, and Mike Myers playing some guy, but he's worth mentioning. Now, stepping into this movie, I knew I wouldn't be let down by the cinematography and directing, which I absolutely wasn't. The director of photography was Robert Richardson, who today has been the director of photography for 5 of Tarantino's films. I like to think of it as a puzzle to a great Tarantino movie, and Robert Richardson's one of the pieces. If you want to see some more of the cinematography, I would highly recommend watching a video called The Beauty of Inglorious Basterds if you want some examples of what the movie has to offer. Although I believe you should probably watch the movie first before watching any of the spoilers. But I'll leave the video link in the description if you want to check it out. Now to one of my favourite aspects of the film, the soundtrack, composed by the great Ennio Morricone. I hope I pronounced his name right. Anyway, he was known for composing some masterpieces such as the themes of the Dollar Trilogy movies, Kill Bill, Django Unchained, and along with various artists, they created the beautiful soundtrack for Inglorious Basterds. And it was just such a memorable soundtrack, and it complements the movie really well. For an example, there's a moment where everyone could die, and that music just cranks up the level and intensity. In my opinion, this soundtrack is definitely one of Tarantino's best movie soundtracks, and personally my favourite. So, do I recommend this movie? If you couldn't tell already, you definitely need to watch this movie, especially if you are a Tarantino fan. Not to say this movie is perfect, there's some scenes that just drag on a bit too long for my liking, but overall, it is a blast to watch. If you want to check this movie out, currently in Australia it's on Netflix, and I believe it's on Stan too. I'm not sure about any other countries, but yeah, for Australia, Netflix and Stan. And if the movie is not on any of your streaming services, I would highly recommend buying this movie. It is a very good movie and you won't regret buying it. Anyway, this has been a fun video. Leave down in the comments below if you have any suggestions what I should review. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.